Welcome to ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy. Alright, let's talk about all of the Easter eggs in episode 2 of The Boys. The episode starts with Billy Butcher being dropped in front of an Italian family restaurant. Now this is really to twist the knife that Homelander has stolen his family away from him. And this is actually the same restaurant chain where the boys held Translucent in Season 1. The title of this episode is Proper Planning and Preparation, which is the name of an arc from the comics. Homelander plays catch with Ryan, great name by the way, and he initially passes on the same lies that Vought created for him in Season 1.
You know, my dad, he had a ball from the '56 World Series.
Right down to his baseball career.
My little team, I played shortstop. Of course, I couldn't show everything I had, but let's just say we did a lot of winning.
As always, The Boys is concerned with showing the gross reality and then the shiny, commercialized veneer that corporations want us to see. Everyone is obsessed with their appearance and their image. Even Stormfront, who prides herself on not caring what people think, is constantly using social media to reach out to her fans. And speaking of Stormfront, her weather powers are an imitation of Storm from the comics. Now in the Boys comics, this character is an evil Nazi, but here they went a different way.
I have a family emergency too.
However, her earrings are in the shape of lightning bolts, a symbol of the Nazis' Gestapo. Now, I'm wondering why Vought chose her to be a member of the Seven if she's so anti-Vought.
You wearing a wire or something?
Personally, I think that she's a plant specifically there to gain the trust of Starlight.
You want to talk about girl power? Let's talk about getting some pockets.
In Eagle Archer's apartment, we can see an Eagle Archer pinball machine, and this poster of him says "Save the Supermarkets," which makes me think that he has a sponsorship deal to protect grocery stores, since in the last episode he talked about protecting a Kroger.
My aha moment came with a hostage situation at Kroger.
And by the way, the voice of the Deep Skills is comics fan Patton Oswalt.
You are so beautiful.
Now, during the press junket, we see that Vought has turned feminism and girl power into a commercial product. Just like all civil rights causes are eventually co-opted by corporations and sanitized for public consumption. Last season, when Starlight spoke out against her sexual assault, Vought responded by turning her very real trauma into a product.
And fight back for all of us, Citizen Starlight.
The edible arrangement at the funeral is actually a callback to Season 1.
Oh, come on, we had a few laughs.
Like the time you sent me the edible arrangement.
This woman is Colonel Mallory, who briefly appeared in Season 1. Now the backstory here and in the comics is that she used to run Billy Butcher's team. Then the boys went too far and pissed off Lamplighter, a former member of the Seven. He burned Mallory's grandkids alive, and so she walked away from the game. Now we don't know exactly what happens to Lamplighter, only that he's left the Seven, but it's implied that he was killed. Starlight and A-Train begin their antagonistic relationship, which they also had in the comics. And no, that is only a replica of Prince's actual guitar from Purple Rain. In the Haitian King's basement, there's a liquor bottle for the fictional King's Pardon rum. Now this refers to a tradition where a pirate could be immediately forgiven of his crimes with a pardon from a king, just like how the boys are looking to be forgiven for their crimes this season. Now this is a vintage poster for a movie called Crimson, and this character is the Crimson Countess, a soup who's a member of the Team Payback in the comics. They're like the boys' version of the Avengers, which also features Eagle the Archer. They've also been around since World War II, but their membership has obviously rotated. Huey is watching the music video for Billy Joel's You're Only Human. That's a song about depression and suicide, and the music video copies the story of It's a Wonderful Life. That movie is about how it's important to do the right thing, even if it causes you personal suffering. Basically, Huey's arc in the entire show. Gecko brings Starlight the Compound V in a pouch of tampons made by Gowgear by Vought. He would have access to this pouch because he works as a lab rat for Gowgear and Vought's other cosmetic products.
Oh, Vought is testing a new volumizing dry shampoo for eye irritation.
Maeve brings Elena a Precious Moments figurine, a reference that I'm sure my Aunt Christy just loved. Homelander is obsessed with milk, particularly Madeline Stillwell's breast milk. Now this is a slight callback to the comics, where Mother's Milk had to continuously breastfeed from his mother or he would shrivel up and die. So it's looking like Becca is raising Ryan in a fake neighborhood on a fake street, probably surrounded by actors like in The Truman Show. Ryan lives in a fake world just like the one constructed for Homelander. Last season, Vogelbaum admitted that he made a mistake, saying that Homelander should have been raised in a home and not a lab.
When I think what it's done to you, and what you can now do to everyone else.
The phone that Homelander gives Ryan is a V-phone, a product made by Vought. Now notice that Ryan is interested in astronomy. He has a telescope, there's planets everywhere, there's rockets on his sheets. In the comics, the public was told that Homelander was an alien, like Superman. I don't think that's what they've told the public in this show, but it's interesting that Ryan is surrounded by a fake world, and part of that world is an interest in space.
I think he's gonna feel when he finds out that you've lied to him his whole life.
The terrorist in the costume shop is looking at plans of the Brooklyn Bridge, probably to plan an attack. In the boys' comics, the bridge was destroyed on 9/11. Inside the Party World store, there are lots of costumes of the Seven, including Starlight, Maeve, the Deep, and this Homelander dog costume, a nod to Crypto the Superdog from the comics. And of course, this is a real-life hero. That's your mom. There's also Homelander plates, an Eagle Archer target set, and a tombstone with A-Train symbol. Foreshadowing. The female's brother is wearing a Spuds MacKenzie t-shirt. This dog from the Bud Light commercials also had a superpower, knowing how to party down. The female and her brother use a unique form of sign language that was actually invented for this show. And on the street in this last scene, you can see a poster for Starlight with the tag, "Bet you can't resist this arrest," and here's Black Noir and more Starlight posters in the shop. I love how the show places Seven ad campaigns everywhere they can. Sometimes really obvious, like the Saving America mural, and then some are more subtle. Well, that's all the Easter eggs that I found, guys. If you know of any, let me know in the comments below. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.